Dr. F. Perry Wilson, an associate professor of medicine at Yale, joins me now. So, Dr. Perry, the virus takes days to show symptoms. Unless you're asymptomatic, then you don't show them. So if you feel fine today and you know you have traveled and were at high risk, what is your advice? Is it testing and quarantine?
So it's going to depend a little bit on where you live. Different states have different regulations about if you've traveled outside of the states, what you're obligated to do. In Connecticut, where I live, we would be obligated to quarantine for 14 days, but not every state says that. A lot of people are going to feel better if they get tested, but have to remember, even if you're asymptomatic, those tests don't turn positive till between 2 and as much as 14 days after you are infected. So right now it's Saturday, or a couple days after Thanksgiving. Too soon to get tested if you were worried about a potential Thanksgiving exposure. You're going to want to wait at least until about next Thursday or so. I really encourage people, you know what, be honest with yourself. We all told ourselves how good we were going to be at Thanksgiving. We were going to stay outside. We were going to wear masks. And if you did that, great. Your risk is relatively low. But, you know, we don't always live up to our own expectations. So if maybe you were inside, maybe the masks were coming off, it's a good idea to get tested. And if we really want to control what we're all worried about, which is a post-Thanksgiving spike, it is a smart idea, even if your state doesn't tell you to quarantine specifically, limit contacts outside of your household for at least the next week or so. Let's really try to dial it back after Thanksgiving to try to control the spread as much as possible.
And doctor, if they did find out, someone found out that yes, they were exposed, whether it was someone they were traveling with or someone during Thanksgiving, it may not necessarily mean that in fact you did contract it as well, because I've heard of family members that have gotten it and then others in the same room didn't, because there's so much we still are learning about coronavirus, but it's still smart to take the appropriate test until you know, even if you don't feel any symptoms.
Absolutely. And we know transmission rates are very high. So just because it's not guaranteed, the recommendation still, if you were in close contact, which would be, you know, any of those people at your Thanksgiving dinner, and they come out positive, this is going to happen to people over the next week as testing goes on. Some viewers are going to hear this. The recommendation would be to quarantine and to get tested. So that's just like if anyone else you were in close contact with got a positive test.
Yeah, because we do see the number skyrocketing, and if it was during Thanksgiving, we know that people aren't wearing those protective masks necessarily at dinner near a family member or a friend and eating. They're not wearing the mask and therefore susceptible. Dr. Perry, always good to talk to you. Appreciate it.